Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides, and I'm here in this secret, undisclosed location, and I have my first press fleet vehicle from Lexus. This is a 2019 Lexus RC350 F-Sport. Let's talk a little bit about Lexus history. So Lexus is that premium brand from Toyota. So everything that you love about Toyota, the reliability, the great selection of vehicles, all that type of stuff, the history is also in this Lexus, only with higher upscale appointments and selections. Now, Lexus was not a brand until 1989, if you could believe that. And this RC350 first hit the scene back in 2013 as a concept car. It was so loved by everybody that witnessed it when it was unveiled that they pushed and worked, and in 2015, that's when the first RC350 was made. Now, what's wonderful about the RC350 is that the RC car itself, you have some choices. With the RC350, you're coming in at a sweet spot where it's a great grand touring vehicle. Naturally aspirated V6, 3.5 liter. Now, if you like what you see, but you want more performance, more handling, more styling, they do make an RCF. Anytime you hear that letter F, it does not mean fail when it comes to Lexus. F is gonna be that utmost top scale when it comes to performance, engineering, and style. And with this car, you could get an RCF. But we're gonna focus on this 2019 RC350 F-Sport, because guess what? You might say, well, Joe, the car's been around since 2015. Well, guess what? They have done some redesign for the new year. So let's go ahead and dive right into the front end of the business. So right off the bat, the whole front fascia has been totally redesigned, from the headlights to the whole spindle grille, everywhere. Now this one has the optional tri-level LED lighting. That is an option. But if you notice, what they did for 2019 was they took the DRL, the daytime running lamp, and instead of having it actually separate in the front fascia, they've now integrated it very nicely all in one housing. Full LED turn signals, LED headlamps, and your LED DRL. They've redesigned this front portion of the car, giving it a little bit different scoop design that is functional. It's a nice air curtain on the side. Air hits the front of the car, gonna get channeled down there. I like the way it's flat black. And then feast your eyes on the updated spindle grille. This is a Lexus specific design. Love the style. They switched to a black chrome finish around the treatment, and you can see all the functional. These are functional air ducts and everything to help bring nice cool air into the front of this Lexus RC350 F-Sport. Now, like I said, that letter F, this is an F-Sport. It's gonna have some extra niceties when it comes to style and performance that you're not gonna get on the standard RC350. But right off the bat, just love the styling, especially this color. Sparkles so nicely. You can see the distinctive body lines, really has a nice flow to it that you don't just see on a lot of cars. And how cool is this? Front engine, rear wheel drive. You could get this all wheel drive, but this one is rear wheel drive, and it has the optional rear steering as well. Let's go ahead and come around the corner here and really just focus more on what's going on. So here's another new for 2019, 19-inch wheel. This is actually what's called a split 5-spoke. So they take the 5-spoke and then they split them into 2s. Love the style. I think you would agree with me with this color, spot on, really wonderful. It almost looks like liquid metal. I love the style of these wheels. These have, with the F-Sport, the upgraded brakes. Nice style, they're flat black. I wish that they said Lexus on it, so I am gonna zonk it. I wish it said F-Sport or Lexus on here, but other than that, great size rotor, nice caliper, gonna help slow down this car time and time and time again. Let's flow into the fender. Wonderful body line coming around. There's that F-Sport badge. So with that F-Sport, you're gonna get some of that magic from Lexus's sports program Believe it or not, if you watch the IMSA WeatherTech series, which is our country's sports car racing, endurance sports car racing, Lexus has a team in the GTD class, these RC350s, really amazing. Now, as we go into the roof line, love the body lines, nice sloping roof design. You do have a great size sunroof. And then another thing, here's that black chrome that is around the side window and the rear quarter window. I also love the side sill. The way it kind of flares out all the way and then it tucks back in really gives this car such a nice flow, almost like a wave kind of crashing at the beach. As we come into the rear quarter window, I think it was so smart to take that black chrome and just carry it out, because think about it, if it just stopped there, you say okay, but you know what? They brought that line, brought that character all the way into the rear quarter panel, coming around to the back, the tail end of the business. Now, just like they redesigned the front, for 2019, they redesigned the rear. You have all new taillights. These are LED, of course. I love the smoked design on it, nice smoke black design. As we drop down, I don't know if you remember on the pre-existing RC350, there were like these, it almost looked like Wolverine claws. I like the way they kind of tucked it all back in and made it cohesive to those vents that you saw at the front. Very clean rear diffuser area. You do have a nicely styled exhaust. Now, I am happy that it's not just a simple straight across, like a vacuum cleaner snorkel. So I won't zonk it. I like the design overall. Of course, you go RCF, you get those beautiful quad exhausts that are staggered. But that's for another review coming soon here on Rady's Rides. There's another R Sport badge and that very clean Lexus badge. Now, one thing you'll notice is, at first I was like, man, this thing needs a trunk lid spoiler. It actually has a nice kick-up spoiler built into the trunk. So as you can see, it's concave right here, and it actually raises up. That is functional, and that is smart engineering. Let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see what we're working with. All right, guys, hood is popped. Now, I know a lot of you were hoping that with the redesign of the exterior, front and rear, maybe there'd be a redesign of some horsepower. Not really a ton extra what you're getting out of there, but underneath that plastic cover, which I am gonna zonk the flat silver. I wish that they would have done something a little bit more sporty when you pop the hood, but underneath that plastic cover is that tried and true 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. So no supercharger, no turbocharger, 311 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. Like I said earlier, this is rear wheel drive. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This one, being the F-Sport, like I pointed out earlier, has the F-Sport calipers, and it also has that Lexus dynamic handling and rear steering package that is an option. MPGs, 20 in the city, 28 on the highway. She weighs in around 3,748 pounds and 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. I think the bottom line is, when it comes to this engine, when it comes to this car, is you're gonna get that wonderful Lexus reliability. And you know what? When we get to the driving portion, you'll be surprised. When this thing climbs in the RPM range, it does make a very nice sound on the interior, which is great. But let's go ahead and fire up this 3.5 liter and see what does an RC350 sound like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 RCF 350 F-Sport. What can I say? I think they nailed it with this color combo. This is exactly, if I was gonna buy one of these, this is exactly the way that I would option it. The Nebula gray with the red interior, spot on. Now, since we're talking about options, you're probably saying to yourself, Joe, how much does this Lexus cost? MSRP with all the options, because remember, this isn't just a base RC350. With the options, you're looking at around $59,000 and some change. Let's see what you get to the door panels. Absolutely, positively love the door panels. I like the wonderful leather. I love the red contrast stitching, that aluminum trim, even that wood grain finish around the window controls. Very tasteful, very upscale, with a little bit of red. Brightens up that door so very nicely. As you go from the door to the dash, soft material. Soft material all over that door, soft material on the dash. I love the color of the vents and the style of the AC vents, both on the side and in the center. I think it's so cool when you see a brand like Lexus use that old analog clock. It's got a carbon fiber background, very tasteful, and it's integrated perfectly in between these two AC vents. Feast your eyes on that. A nice 7-inch widescreen infotainment system. Of course, it's got navigation. It's funny, when I first got into this car, I was like, am I gonna like this open area? It's actually smartly placed. It's pushed back, it's not just sticking out like a sore thumb, and it really, by having it in this placement, it's protected from sun glare and whatnot. You do have that same wood grain finish around the AC controls. Now this looks a little dated, which remember, they just updated the exterior portions. There's not a whole lot going on in here that have been changed, but what's cool is it still has the sliding AC controls. So you actually just take your finger and slide it here, and that adjusts the temperature. Obviously dual climate. You do still get a CD player if you're still rocking out to Bon Jovi and whatnot. You still got your CD player. This has the upgraded Mark Levinson premium sound system. You have heated and ventilated seats. I want to talk about this for a second. I'm gonna zonk the lighting. They use this LED lighting to let you know it's on. In the sun, it's impossible to see. The nice thing though is that if you leave the ventilated seats on, every time you start the car back on, the ventilated seats kick back on. So that's a good thing. Really love the tasteful finish on the shifter. This is controlling that 8-speed automatic, leather perforated, leather on the boot, that red stitching, and I love this brushed aluminum look. Very, very nice. And then you get the dial here. This is gonna be Eco. You have, and it's cool, it shows you up there, Eco, Sport S, and then Sport Plus. You can shut off your traction control. It does have a snow setting. And then this one also has that wonderful, it's almost like a mouse pad style. And what's great is it gives awesome feedback when you're touching it and whatnot. It almost like kicks back and lets you know every time you select something. So very, very nice feature. 2 cup holders with a little bit of brushed aluminum. You have a nicely padded armrest, red contrast stitching. Open this up, you got your USB, 2 of them, and a 12 volt, and it's all felt lined. So you could put your mother of pearl necklace in here and it's not gonna get scratched up. Close it up very nicely, and these seats are to die for. Love the color, love the style. You look at all this stitching in here, really wonderfully done. They're heated, they're ventilated. They may look racy, but they're really not. They feel really, really great. And I love the way the red is here, but also on the center console. And like I pointed out before, you have a sunroof. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom. I feel so snug as a bug in a rug in this Lexus F-Sport. Absolutely love it. Frameless, auto dimming mirror. Lots of nice things going on. Would I change some of this up? Yes, and I'm sure that Lexus is working on that for the next redesign, but why don't you come on over and I'll show you the business end, because I'm telling you there's some nice things over here. Come check it out. All right guys, business end, behind the wheel of this RC350. Of course you're gonna get full power seats. I love the aluminum panel down here with the Lexus trim package. You have a nice dead pedal, and the pedals are all brushed aluminum with some grip to give you some stick while you're driving. At the end of the day, this isn't some back road twisty type of car. You can enjoy the twisties, don't get me wrong, especially with the rear wheel steering, but this is more like a grand touring car where you could really go on a long trip, and hey, if there's some twisty roads on the way, you could enjoy it. This steering wheel is a piece of heaven. I love the perforated leather. I love the thickness, the stitching. You have the F-Sport badge. I like that brushed aluminum look going on here with the badging. And then the gauge cluster is to die for. I love the digital readout. You got tilt and telescoping steering wheel. I can move that out of the way so O'Neill could show you that full digital setup. When you go into the different modes, it changes. So there's your eco mode. Then you have your Sport Sharp. And then you have Sport Sharp Plus. Now watch this, there's a separate button. If you want some extra readouts, you press this, it physically slides. It's a actual bezel that physically slides, and now you have your fuel consumption, your eco indicator, a G-force meter, tire pressure, gear position indicator, sway warning, all these different things, and then when you're done, you press it and it goes right back. The first car that I ever saw something like that on was the Lexus LFA, that V10. Cool to have it in this RC350. You have a nice size paddle. They are plastic, but they're a great size to go up and down that 8-speed automatic transmission. I'm sure one thing you're guessing is, I saw seats in the back, Joe. Can anybody sit in them? Let's go check it out if Joe Rady from Rady's Rides can fit in the back seat of this RC350. All right, guys, it's that moment where my chiropractor loves me because he knows I'm gonna be calling him for an adjustment. I'm gonna get into the back seat of this RC350. I've already moved the seat back, and as you can see, full leather everywhere, but let's go ahead and climb on in to the back. And you know what? I'm shocked. Now, am I perfect? Am I so comfortable that I could drive 1,000,000 miles? No, but I have a pretty decent amount of headroom, and this is like a nice suede headliner, so I don't mind touching it. You have rear AC vents, yes. Some 4-door cars don't even have that. And then you have a nice little cubby area for your phone. There's no USB or anything like that, but I don't think people are gonna spend a super amount of time back here, but it is actually fairly comfortable. You have nice leather on the armrest, same red contrast stitching, and the seats are very comfortable. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk area and see how usable is this Grand Touring car. All right, guys, it's that time. Let's check out the trunk. There's a nice little button right here. It's not electric assist, but it actually opens up very nicely with some hydraulic strut action. Great size opening here, and you know what? This goes far down inside, and the seats, those back seats, do a 60-40 split. So you have plenty of room back here. It comes with a Lexus first aid kit, nicely strapped down in the back. Wonderful way to use this vehicle, and I think that's really where this shines. Is this going to win you a drag race? No. Is this going to win you a track day? No. But you know what? You could go out, enjoy those roads, and be able to take luggage with you, take your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friend, whatever, the family, on a little getaway, and then you can make it back home and just enjoy this every single day of the week. But let's go ahead, get to the best part. Let's take this RC350 F-Sport for a spin. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Lexus R350 F-Sport. As you could imagine, everything is rock solid in here. It's so quiet, no wind noise, no creaks, no cracks, no rattles. Everywhere you touch feels upscale, high quality, and so smooth. The V6 in this car is so very smooth. And it's interesting because when you get on it, it's got a sound to it. It almost sounds like it has a mild supercharger. I know that that's just the cam gears and whatnot doing their business, but it actually sounds pretty good. And when it comes to the exhaust and the interior noise in here, on full throttle, when this thing is climbing through the revs, which it does redline around 6,800 RPM, it sounds pretty good in here. Almost like a baby LFA. That will be an experience to behold to get an LFA on Rady's Rides. But seats very comfortable. Like I said, if you think that these are going to squeeze you like a 10-pound vice grip, no. Very comfortable. You got the full electric assist mobility of the seat, the lumbar support feels amazing. Lots of headroom in here for a 2-door Grand Touring style car. Steering wheel is great. You have electric, tilt, and telescoping steering wheel. And keep it in automatic mode. It goes through the 8-speed just fine. Or you could use the paddles, which we're going to do soon. But we are going to find some twisty roads here in my neck of the woods. So, real quick acceleration test. Roll away on throttle. I have it in automatic mode. Smooth. Like I said, 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds. Car's very rock solid stable. You don't feel bouncy. For 2019 with the F-Sport, you know, you do get a little bit different suspension setup. It's not firm, it's not soft. It feels just about right, which is wonderful. That's a good experience in here. From what I heard with the outgoing one, there'd be a little bit of wallowing going on, especially accelerating and braking. Brakes feel great. Those upgraded brake calipers really clinch down on those rotors, and just looking at that dash is amazing, the technology. Do I love the sea of buttons here in the center console? No, I am gonna zonk that, but I like the wood grain finish
It's like a black wood grain finish both on the door and in the center portion, which is very, very nice. Now I do have it in Sport Plus mode, so that changes how the transmission behaves. It also changes throttle sensitivity and all that good stuff. Most of the time I've been driving it, I've been in Sport Plus, that Sport Sharp Plus mode. And it feels just fine. It feels very, very snappy on acceleration, but nothing too out of control. Traction control does a great job with keeping the rear end in check. But we're gonna go find a couple roads to see how this thing handles, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, we're gonna go down a little bit of a twisty road here. I'm gonna put this in manual shift mode. To do that, you just take the shifter and slide it into manual mode. You can use the shifter itself, or you could use the paddles. I'm gonna stick with the paddles and see how we do here. I'm gonna drop it down to second, 4,000 RPM. Here we go. On the brakes. Great sound. I love the sound coming from this car. Shifts are on the quicker side, on the brakes, little left-right transition here. Definitely handling really, really sharp, especially with that rear wheel steering. Very nicely done. Big changes from last year, big changes. This car really did the business through that twisty section. There wasn't any wallowing, really great weight transfer. So when you went into that left-right or right-left transition, it really set the weight up perfectly to where it took the weight, put it on that outside corner, and held the line very nicely. Feedback coming from the front end of the car through this wonderful steering wheel was spot on, and the rear end was not getting out of control at all. I felt very connected to that whole experience, as it should be. And for an 8-speed automatic, the shifts were on the quicker side, which was great. Not a lot of pause when you go up and down the different gears. Wonderful experience, lots of fun. This car, you could have your cake and eat it too. You could enjoy the twisties, but hey, you're in a nice, sexy 2-door car, and you got plenty of room in here. All right, guys, we're gonna go into this tight right-hand bender. So I'm in 5th gear, on the brakes, 4th, 3rd, tip it in. Nice, look at that. It feels good. It feels good in this car. All the way up, rev, rev, rev. Very nice. The power delivery is so smooth in this naturally aspirated engine. It pulls all the way through the curve without any falling off. The higher the revs go, the more she pulls. I think that's a home run. All right, guys, one little bit of twisty bits before we go. On throttle, 2nd, 3rd, on the brakes. Very nice, look at this. This is great. Brakes, downshift. Really carries the weight great. Carry the speed through the turns. Brakes feel phenomenal. Brakes feel phenomenal in this car. Really, really wonderful setup in this car. Lexus did a great job of balancing everything to where this car could be a comfortable daily driver. You can carry 4 passengers to a reasonable amount of distance and drive to work each and every day. It really is a great all-arounder, and comfortable and nice and quiet in here and solid. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up, get back to the undisclosed location, and I'll see you back in a split second.
All right, guys, it's been a wonderful experience with this Lexus RC350 F-Sport. You know what? It's very versatile, and it does a lot of things good Is it a flat out sports car to go up against a Corvette or something like that? No, but that's not the purpose of this vehicle, and I think Lexus did a great job with refreshing it, and I'm very excited to see where they take this concept into the next design. But I definitely want to thank Corey and everybody at Lexus and Toyota for allowing me access to these amazing vehicles in their press fleet. And if these are the things that you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making this great content just for you, click the link in that description. Takes you right to Spreadshirt. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Every bit helps. Speaking of helping us out, O'Neill working the camera. He came out to this secret location. He couldn't even find it on his GPS, but you know what? He made it and he was here on time. So thank you, O'Neill, for all your hard work. Now we could go and bask in the protein bliss that follows us later this day. So thank you, O'Neill, for everything. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.